Hey, Chris from Cornerstop here. Welcome back to our Hockey 101 series. Today's all about the snapshot. So I'd like to go through and look obviously at the mechanics and demonstrate a few for you. But first I'd like to kind of look at what the similarities are and what the differences are between this and like a wrist shot, right? First of all, this shot is characterized mainly by a quick release. So some of the differences between that and a wrist shot is you're obviously not going to have that big load-up phase where you're behind yourself and you're really sweeping through. So obviously you can see that requires a pretty good amount of time and space in order to do that. The modern game is pretty fast, as I'm sure you all kind of recognize, and this shot is an outgrowth of that where it really requires very little setup and you can get the shot off quick. So the other big difference here is that this is a shot where you hit the puck versus a shot where you sweep the puck, right? So you're going to be pulling the puck in a little bit or pushing it out, you can think of, and then hitting it as you go, right? So that motion of hitting is going to be pretty paramount for the snapshot as opposed to the sweeping motion of the wrist shot. So the similarities, though, there's several, and one is hand position. I don't change my hand position that much for a snapshot as opposed to a wrist shot, so it's going to be the same thing with your the hand that goes on your handle, just pushing that down, getting that thumb straight down. And then this one is, arm's length away, right around there is good. Wherever you feel like you get good flex on your stick, that's probably a pretty good hand position for it. So other thing, legs, right? So your legs are going to generate a lot of power. So whether you're doing an inside leg or an outside leg shot, which we'll talk about in a little bit, either one, you're going to have a good weight transfer going towards the net, right? So we kind of talked about a baseball swinger loading up on one side and releasing. It's the same thing. You always want to be releasing that power towards your target, right? So getting all that power in there. So let's take a look at some of the mechanics behind it then. So, and the setup here. So you're not going to be back here. You're going to be right beside yourself, right? So you're a couple feet away with this shot. I would generally start out like that. I wouldn't start out with these big toe drag moves or anything like that. Just start out trying to make it as simple as you can, right? Concentrate on how you want to do this shot. So if you want to do the inside leg shots, right, it's going to be a move from your right leg onto your left leg. Well, I'm a left-hander, so that's the way I do it, left leg to right leg. But it's going to be a move onto your inside leg, the one closest to your blade. And it kind of sets you up. Each of these legs will kind of set you up with your hand out so that you can pull down on this one and you can push through on this one, right? So it's going to be that move like that, right? And you want to do it in a singular fashion here. So as you jump, you're doing the snap, right? So it's going to be snap, snap, right? So I'm going to do a couple of outside leg shots. We'll see if we can get these targets down. So that's the general principle, is releasing through, getting a little bit of stick flex, and concentrating on not pulling it way back, but just right inside and getting that off. So hopefully this video has been helpful for you. One of the things that I see with the snapshot a lot is people think that they kind of don't understand it because they see people who are really, really good at it, and I don't profess to be really, really good at it, but players look like it's a very fluid motion, and they get a lot of power out of it and a big snap sound. Well, that's just practice and a lot of progression. So what I would do is make the move to get separation between your stick and the puck at the start, progressing into the shot, pretty pronounced, right? So get it so that there's a good separation and you're hitting the puck, right? So as your job then is to close that gap. So as you progress in this shot, right, you're going to start out stationary, you're going to have kind of a bigger gap in between your stick and the puck, and as you progress, you're moving on the ice towards the net and hitting it, and you'll get your distance between that pretty short, right? And then you'll have much more of a wrist flick too as you kind of get into that shot and can control it, right? So anyways, make sure you like and subscribe. I'm going to be coming out with a slap shot video, and then we're going to be doing a beer league series as well. That will be kind of fun. We'll be watching some of my team videos, and then talking a little bit about how to, get your team. I know beer leagues don't practice very much, so how to maximize your time on the ice without having a lot of practice and trying to get a lot of value out of that. So make sure you stay tuned for those videos, and I appreciate you watching.